Happy morning, I'm Paige. This is the Happy Kitchen, and today we're making vegan, gluten-free crepes with blueberry sauce. I'm very excited about today. One of the things that I missed the most when I went gluten-free was crepes. I feel like you can find a lot of things nowadays at restaurants and in stores and such, but crepes was one of the things that I hadn't found. So I hadn't had it in a long time, and I have perfected the recipe, and I'm excited to share it with you today. First, coffee. Now we can assemble our ingredients. You're gonna need a hand mixer or regular mixer, bowl, oat milk, very ripe bananas, vanilla, Bob's Red Mill pancake, gluten-free pancake mix, and a little bit of oil. A neutral oil is gonna work best. It doesn't have a lot of flavor. I have avocado oil here. You could use like regular vegetable oil too, but I like this stuff better. So you're gonna do your banana first. We're gonna use half of a very ripe banana, and we're gonna put that in first and get it nice and blended up so that there's no chunks. It's a little easier to do that if you do it first. Take about a half, which is equivalent to about 1 egg or so. Nolly. I'm gonna take this guy over there because my island doesn't have an outlet. Good fun. One very mashed banana, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, 1½ cups of oat milk. This is Oatly's original, but it is not sweetened at all. 1 tablespoon of oil, eyeball. It's 1 tablespoon. We're gonna mix all of this up before we add the pancake mix in. I like to turn it up a little bit high, get a little bit of air in here with this. See that? Lots of air has been incorporated and it's all mixed together. And then we're gonna do a cup of the pancake mix. I like to use a ½ cup measure though, because then I use this when I'm pouring the batter. Let's get this all mixed up. Once it's starting to all mix together, turn your mixer up again a little bit higher, because we want to get a little more air in there again. There we have it. Our crepe mix. So here's what the consistency should look like. It's got a little bit of lumps, so if you do, don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. It has a nice thick consistency, but thin enough that it's gonna pour out to be crepes. We're gonna set that aside and let it rest for a minute. I like to let the batter rest for just a moment before you start pouring. And while we're waiting, we're gonna start our blueberry compote. Get out a small sized pot. You're gonna do a ½ cup of frozen blueberries. Wyman's frozen blueberries are my favorite. They're wild from Maine. 1/4 cup, ½ cup, maybe a little extra. It's not gonna hurt you. Then we're gonna do the same amount, so another ½ cup of milked cashews, unsweetened. Then this is about to look really pretty, so I'm gonna zoom you guys in. The next thing that goes in is 4 teaspoons of coconut sugar. I have tried agave in place and it just doesn't thicken the sauce as well. You can use the same amount of white sugar and that works really well, but this is a little bit of a healthier version. Turn this on medium-low initially. While that starts going, you can go ahead and get out a medium-sized skillet so we can get that heating up as well. The first time around, we're gonna put a little bit more oil to make sure that everything gets really coated, and then as you add more oil in between each crepe, you'll do a little bit less. See how that looks. And we're gonna get this going on a little bit higher than medium. But I can feel things are starting to heat up. You want to make sure and give your skillet a minute. Get nice and warmed up. Crepes are going to take some time and some patience, so it will be worth it. And don't do it on a day when you got other stuff to do. It's its own event. Then I like to take the oil and roll it around the edges, just in case we get any crepe all the way on there. It's gonna come off. All right, that's feeling about hot enough. I'm gonna make my first crepe a little bit smaller so that I waste a little bit less of my batter. Usually the first crepe, just like the first pancake, doesn't come out as good. So I'm gonna use my little ½ cup measure and I'm going to get just a little over half, but for my first one, I'm gonna go about half. Do want to hear a little bit of a sizzle. And then right away, I'm gonna keep turning. That's nice and thin. Now don't touch it. You gotta let it sit. If you touch it too soon, it's all gonna come apart. Give this guy a stir. All right, now that he's heating up, I'm gonna turn him up just a little bit. So we're gonna go like not quite medium high, but a little higher than medium, if that makes sense. I want this guy to get a nice boil happening. All right, turn this guy down to just below medium now that it's going, and let that go for a little while. And then we're waiting for this nice brown on the edge. And then you kind of want to go around all the edges to pull it up. Well, the first one turned out okay. We're gonna let this guy simmer until it thickens up a little bit, and then we'll turn it off for, you know, like probably like 10 to 15 minutes, but you're gonna wanna watch for the consistency. And then the second side is gonna take a lot less time than than the first time. So I'm just gonna keep making some crepes and we'll see you in a bit. These crepes are super easy to make. I love that they still get that like lacy, crispy edge, but then because they're gluten-free, I found that crepes kind of have a little bit of a hard time like staying together and also like the inside getting nice and done. And these ones, the inside's nice and soft, but it is fully cooked. And then the amount of blueberry sauce this makes pairs with how much we made perfectly. But I like a lot of blueberry sauce, so if you're like me and you like a lot of blueberry sauce, I would double this recipe. When you're making them, if you notice that when you're using your spatula to get up underneath there, if it's not coming up really easily and it's like breaking, then you want to stop and let it cook a little bit longer. It means it's not done. Once you're able to fully take your spatula around the edge of the whole thing, that's when you know that it's ready to flip. I hope you guys make these gluten-free vegan crepes and this blueberry sauce. If you do, take a picture and tag me in it. If you have anything that you want to see me make here in the Happy Kitchen, please leave a comment below. And if you have any questions about this, you can also leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more gluten-free creations just like this one. Have a happy day.